Oh no, oh God. Yes, it's true, we are back. I'm sorry to disappoint anyone who thought we were gone for good. Shame on you. I was just visiting family for the holidays. I hope you all had a good time over your holidays as well, or are planning to have a good time during the upcoming ones, visiting family, friends, smoking blunts, eating lots of turkey, whatever it is y'all do. I hope you had a lot of fun doing it, or will have a lot of fun doing it in the future. But all that aside, we are back. It is still warm here in sunny Los Angeles, the city of angels, so we are live, alive, and ready to get down to business and deep inside. That's kind of bars. It has been an interesting November, and I guess kind of December too. Jesus, it's been like a month since I uploaded. That is horrible. I am sorry to leave you guys alone for so long with the ravages of regular media. Yikes. That must have been a nightmare. I won't do it again. I promise. I'm sorry. Anyway, we'd had better get back at it, huh? So let's see what we have missed in an extra long quick recap of the week's segment. So first off, there is still no official Switch 2 news, surprising perhaps nobody. Good lord, Nintendo. This thing is rumored to already be in production and you still aren't saying anything. Wow. There have been a bunch of pretty realistic renders associated with the accessory companies, case makers, stuff like that. Let's put that on screen now. And I think they're likely pretty accurate. Y'all know what I've said all along. Just give us another Switch that's more powerful, about like PS4, PS4 Pro, something like that, and some new Mario, Zelda, and Metroid games, and I will be happy. That's about all I expect from you. That's usually about what you deliver, so let's just keep it up and move it along, huh? No one is on the edge of their seat this time. Just get this shit out and keep it moving, okay? Oh, and if you could maybe not throw an army of lawyers after every random fan of yours that mildly annoys you, that would be pretty sweet too. Next up, we do need to catch up on any foul corpo capers that we may have missed. I guess kind of see why I haven't posted in a while. There's not really a lot going on. We did have Sony, not surprisingly, doing precisely nothing to curb the entirely expected PS5 Pro scalping problem. If you want a PS5 Pro, something I personally cannot fathom, but if you did, do whatever. I hope you did not buy one from a scalper because apparently there's no problem getting them. They seem to be on Amazon right now. I don't know. So hopefully that didn't burn you down. We've also got another Dead Corpo live service. Totally unexpected. I know. Something called, no, not Concord. X-Defiant. X-Defiant. Stupid name, never heard of it. I'm sure this was a really fantastic game that provided an excellent value to its players and customers by offering great, affordable, fair deals for content, cosmetics, and updates, right? Or maybe it was a rushed, cheap cash-in response to Call of Duty in an already oversaturated market plagued by shitty work culture, crunch, and years of delays that was constantly falling behind expectations, struggling with wavering player counts, and marked by the devs consistently lying about how it's definitely not dead. I know, I'm shocked. You're shocked? We're all just so shocked by this totally unexpected course of events. Oh my God.
I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
Oh, and then they, of course, screwed up on even the few meager refunds that they were offering to people. I can't believe it. Not Ubisoft, surely not. X-Defiant now joins the noble ranks of Concord, Foam Stars, and also Suicide Squad as Garbo live services that have all predictably shut down over the past few weeks. Almost as if 90% of live services don't really need to be live services and are only sold that way to easily rip people off. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Almost like the games industry exists not to provide us with fun games to play, but only to make money instead. Again, I can't believe it. If you were one of the very few that actually played those games, I am sorry that your game is dead. The good news, though, is that now you're freed up to go play something fun, like Helldivers or Darktide. Lastly, any recent industry shenanigans aside, a bunch of really dope games did come out over the past month or so. Be sure to drop what you are playing in the comments below. Let us all know. I always love to see that kind of shit. I myself have been deep inside Stalker 2, Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Ghost Runner 2, that Indiana Jones game, which shockingly turned out to be kind of fucking sick. Maybe not shockingly, actually, as I don't think Machine Games has really missed yet. But anyway, that's what I've been playing. Those, and of course, the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, before we get to any of that though, we do need to talk about the United Healthcare CEO being murked by a... Oh. For a second, I forgot that we only cover video games here. Never mind. Before we officially get started with the video though, if you do want to skip the Game Awards new stuff recap and just get to the part where I talk about woke, you can find the timestamps below. Otherwise, my intrepid travelers, onward. Believe it or not, I am sorry to do this to you. I'm sorry to do this to me. But the Game Awards, they were the other night, and sadly, inevitably, despite the industry's best efforts, apparently we must talk about them. I don't know how anyone sits through these things anymore. I had it on in the background, muted, while I was in the studio with the band the other night, and I found it hard to tolerate them even like that. So I mostly just looked at recap videos and articles. I know. I couldn't take it. I could not stand to hear just the cataclysmic levels of cringe on display that for some reason were being broadcast willingly from this event. Every year it's the same thing, and I think it's getting worse probably. Mid-tier celebrities and other oddities and influencers being trotted out on stage like they're being held hostage to then just stutter out some of the most awkward dialogue that anyone has ever had to experience in what are truly unfortunate attempts to, I don't know, be funny, I guess, entertaining. I don't know. Why do all these people feel the need to be funny? I'll never understand. They even had poor Harrison Ford up there. Leave that man alone, please, for God's sake.
Leave her alone! I'm serious!
The whole thing, completely putting aside the barbaric capitalist displays of proof that the human race itself has failed, just the weird celebrity performances are so off-putting, and like I've said this before, that I would pay to not have them associated with something I was working on. This isn't Spike TV in 2004. Have some goddamn self-respect. I guess asking the game industry to have self-respect is its own form of bad humor. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Believe it or not, I'm actually not going to do a whole rant, not this year anyway, about how these things are little more than bought and paid for advertisements for the evil, exploitative, capitalist human misery engine that is the modern gaming industry. I already know that, we already know that, and if you've been watching this channel for a while or have any sense at all, you know that. At this point, I think we can forego that particular classic high school anarchist rant section of the video, for now at least. No promises I won't bust one out again in the future. But, so the cringe aside, the rampant vulgar capital worshipping aside, let's get on to the only reason, hopefully, that anyone pays even the slightest bit of attention to this pain, misery, violence, and death every year. The new shit. What was the new shit? What got announced, and was it any good? Well, let's find out. First up, we have on this list that I have pulled from Kotaku, Polygon, I don't know, some site like that. First up is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Stupid subtitle, but great 2D side-scrolling. What motivates companies to put these insipid, ridiculous subtitles on games that otherwise would be pretty cool? Why mar them with anything, especially a bad subtitle? I don't know. But anyway, looks pretty cool. I say dope. Next is One Move Away. I don't know what this is. I don't care. Slay the Spire 2. I don't like deck building. I don't really like roguelikes, but Slay the Spire is generally pretty well done. At least that's what Bobby tells me. So I'm glad they're making another. Cool. Next is Dave the Diver DLC in the Jungle. This looks like a kid's game to me, but again, Bobby has ranted to me many times about how awesome the original is, so I will take his word for it and agree. Now we have Thick as Thieves. They say this is Warren Spector's next project. Maybe it is, but I don't see any evidence of the reasons why he's a lauded developer on display here. We like this dude because he made stuff like Deus Ex, not because he made an unnecessarily cartoonish, gimmicky, probably live service. Yeah, pass on this. Shame on you, Warren. Next, we have Shadow Labyrinth, which seems like a secret Pac-Man type thing. I don't know. I like side-scrolling, and I like the vibes here. So, cool. Let's we're trying a new thing this year. We're going to try not to be overly pessimistic. Next is Steel Paws, which, well, so much for that. It's a mobile game. Skip this. Now we have a Lord of the Rings management sim. I'll say it, guys, I'm too old for this shit. I don't know what this is, and I am not the slightest bit interested in it. Lord of the Rings is one of those properties that's notoriously hard to get right in a video game format. They're always hit or miss. You had those cool brawlers from like the PS2 era. Shadow of Mordor was pretty decent. Even the MMO was pretty good, even though it was just pretty much a copy of WoW Classic. But beyond that, I struggle to think of good Lord of the Rings games. Maybe I'm missing something. In either case, pass on whatever this is. Moving on, we now come to Midnight Murder Club. That's actually a decent name. Sounds like a band I would have listened to in high school. And though the gameplay doesn't really tell us much, this little blurb here says it's about, making rich people kill each other for sport, which in fact does sound like my kind of shit, to be honest. Whether or not the game is any good, who knows? Kiora is next, a fun little multiplayer pixel art game. Looks like, I don't really care, but looks like it's probably an indie game, and as such, likely will be pretty good, so that's positive. Then we've got a soccer game by Sifu developer Slowclap, don't care. We've then got Solasta 2, a TAC RPG. I don't know anything about Solasta 1, so if anyone has any thoughts on this, leave them in the comments. I can't really speak to it. Then we come to the cinematic trailer for The Witcher 4, which I thought was fine. It looked fine. Ciri looked a little weird, maybe, but otherwise it seems fine. I'm not sure what people wanted from a teaser that doesn't really provide any information, doesn't show gameplay, but of course, a bunch of weirdos still somehow found a way to be mad. I guess they're upset there wasn't a big, strong, hot man like Geralt is the protagonist. I don't know. As you all know, whenever possible, I make my characters hot babes anyway. If I'm staring at a collection of polygons on the screen for 40 hours at a time, my feeling is the least they could do is have some tits. But not everyone thinks the way I do. Understandably, some people get very upset about this stuff. I don't really get it. I thought we all knew the next game was going to be about Ciri, right? Y'all played Witcher 3, right? How are we surprised by this? In either case, I like The Witcher 2, I like The Witcher 3, and I really like Cyberpunk, so I feel like I'll probably like The Witcher 4. Case closed, moving on. Ooh, Elden Ring Night Rain. I don't think anyone saw this coming, especially because didn't Miyazaki kind of say specifically that it wasn't coming? More Miyazaki and more From Software is always good, but given that this is a multiplayer game, it's probably going to be a pass from me. Then, of course, we do have another entry in the Buy It Again Idiot category, our good old buddy in the mix, FF7 Remake Part 2 Rebirth PC version. Full price, almost a year after it was first released. You can almost set your watch by Square Enix's blind, pig-headed greed at this point. Next is a game about cats. I love cats, but not this much. Next, please. Outer Worlds 2. I love this game, or the first one. Hell yes, I will take a sequel. I love Obsidian, and I'm pretty sure I love most of the stuff that they've done. They usually don't mess. Oh, here's something I do not love. EA games, especially forced cooperative games that look like they were made for little kids 10 years ago. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to pass on this one too. Something I will not pass on, however, is Borderlands 4. I kind of feel like the series is maybe starting to outgrow its toilet humor origins a little bit. I don't know, maybe not outgrow, maybe I'm just kind of tired of it. I feel like it's wearing just a bit thin. Anyone else? Regardless though, its looter shooter formula has so far never really disappointed, and I don't think it'll start anytime soon. Thank God they didn't let that movie be the end of it. Moving on, we've also got a new Virtua Fighter announcement. Fighting game fans, let us know what you think about this in the comments. I'm not really qualified to have an opinion, except for the nostalgia I have for playing the original on my friend's Saturn, so y'all will have to learn us down below. Then there's Project Century. I don't know, I thought this looked cool enough, but like, what doesn't these days? Kind of meh. And then there was Turok. Oh snap, I thought this should be dope. Oh wait. What? Nanotech jumpsuits, third person? Where's the goddamn cerebral bore, you heathens? God damn it. Next. We then saw some Helldivers 2 stuff, some Warframe expansions, new Palworld stuff, none of which I thought was particularly remarkable or interesting, but cool nonetheless. Some boring anime action game stuff, but then Onimusha? Yes. Yes, you saw that correctly, Onimusha. Now, let's be clear. I am not here for some cheap Capcom attempt at a From Software ripoff. No thank you. I very much am here, however, for a new take on the survival horror roots of the franchise. That would be pretty goddamn sick. Which one will this be? I think y'all know, but we can always hope. We can always hope. We then had another smattering of generic-looking, presumably third-person action games. The new trailer for Dying Light: The Beast, which I suppose, since I played the first two, I'm obligated to say looks kind of decent, but I don't really care about it. I'll grab the torrent when it's out, but I won't be watching for this one, if you know what I mean. Some dumb Netflix bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Oh, some Game of Thrones thing by a sad individual, apparently from 2012, who didn't get the memo that no one cares about this anymore. Something called Den of Wolves, which I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to. Some gacha stuff, a Sonic racing game, blah, 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 a new Mafia game. I heard these were cool, actually, but I never really played them, so someone weigh in the comments, please, let us know. Then there was something which was introduced by what appeared to be Aaron Paul at gunpoint. And to be honest, I was so traumatized by whatever that interaction was that I forgot what game was even announced. And then, of course, naturally, what teaser stream would be complete without an announcement for something which, in theory, everyone loves, but hasn't even started production yet? An Okami sequel. Very nice, guys. Very nice indeed. But wait, there is more. Neil Druckmann and the crew at Naughty Dog have yet to weigh in. What do they have for us this year? After years of waiting, what have they brought to us, the teeming gaming proletariat? Oh no. Oh no.
Not like this.
If you haven't seen this, I'll run in the background here, but oh boy. Uh-oh. I think we all know what this means, don't we, guys? It's time for the anti-woke scolds to ride again. Undoubtedly, some very manly men have already become very upset by this. And inevitably, we are all having to hear about it. Man, I'm so tired of the internet. Seriously though, Naughty Dog, what are y'all doing? Do you guys just all have a fetish for angry-looking lesbians? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. I don't get it. Do you do this on purpose? Well, sorry. That's actually a stupid question. Of course they do this on purpose. Do you think Naughty Dog just had simply no clue how the internet was gonna react to a main character that looked like this? Guys, of course they knew how people would react. This is Marketing 101 with the pander dial cranked to 11. Y'all have any idea how much more additional press and engagement this largely kind of mediocre, zero gameplay showing trailer is gonna get now because of the fire hose of anti-woke boy tears being spewed all over the timeline? You think all that is an accident? Don't be naive. First, you're gonna have the, oh god, this is so woke, snowflakes ruining our games videos. Then you're gonna have the, this isn't woke, you guys are the snowflakes response videos. Then you got the articles on the woke backlash and the counter articles on the how it's not woke at all backlash. The endless video essays on how this is woke and that other thing isn't, and woke is bad when this, but it's good when this. You'll have the entire streamer react clips economy, the LSF karma farming, the Kotaku Twitter posting, all the OMG, Naughty Dog turned off the comments on the trailer. There was no possible way they could have seen this coming. The pearl clutching and the gnashing of teeth and on and on and on for many, many news cycles. Geez, what we're talking about here is literally millions in free advertising, clicks, and promotion for Naughty Dog and Sony. All for the low cost of just making the main character look a certain way, which never affects gameplay anyway. After which, as sales prove, everyone still just buys the game. Whether it's to continue to farm it for reactionary content, or because they think wokeness is real and they want to hate on it, or because they believe in it and they want to support it, whether they don't care either way, or simply want to see what all the fuss is about, a purchase is a purchase. This kind of hysteria, really, for lack of a better word, sells games. This shit flies off shelves regardless.
That's a W, bro.
You think any of that is an accident? Come on now. Come on now. Now, of course, maybe y'all read it differently, but to me, this doesn't seem like representation to me. It just looks like a bunch of dudes cleverly wielding tokenism and cynical rage bait to help advertise what will likely be a pretty mid video game, or I don't know, maybe just a series of piss poor remasters, right? It's hard to say, Naughty Dog. But in either case, when you operate like Naughty Dog, or maybe more specifically Neil Druckmann and his team, I don't really know, this is what you get. You reap what you sow. Even when you may not be trying to do some sort of cynical representation designed to farm engagement, people are gonna think that you are. It's gonna read like that anyway. Now, to be completely honest, I probably would have rolled my eyes at this character regardless of who was behind it, but knowing it's Naughty Dog and those guys, it does kind of make it seem a little more, I don't know, desperate, try hard, maybe. Ironically, between the obvious nod to Akira, the 80s vibes, and the score by Trent Reznor, this actually looks like it could be kind of dope. And if it were being done by almost any other studio, I might actually be excited for it. But number one, aside from the Uncharted series, I'm not really a fan of anything Naughty Dog has done. Clumsy 3D platformers, misery porn, and plant zombie games aren't really my thing. But number two, I don't really appreciate tokenism in any form or being pandered to, though it remains to be seen if that really is what they're up to here. But again, knowing this team, it probably is, as they seem to fall back on that kind of thing to sell their games a little too often. When in doubt, toss in some rage bait representation to boost the game's profile. I'm only telling you this because my channel is too small to make any money grifting off the myth of wokeness in either direction. Most of you know by now, I think, that I believe it's entirely made up and just used as another culture war cudgel to bludgeon us with and make sure that no one rises up and tries waging a class war instead. Anyway, enough of my soapbox. I will close with a word of advice, if I may, to you, Naughty Dog. Ready? Here it is. Just make your game, make your characters, and if they're good, people will like it and everyone will buy it, bald woman or not. If it's bad, though, well, then everyone will call it woke.
Yup, woke up, smoke up, blunt, then I pass out, woke up, what up, smoke up, blunt, then I'm back down, what? Yup, woke up, smoke up, blunt, then I pass out, woke up, what up, smoke up, blunt.